Welcome to a CSB TV special. April is National Poetry Month, and we here at CSB TV decided to have a special poetry reading. We have two poets with us today, Leatra Hernandez, who joined me on Writer to Writer interviews, as well as Linwood Jackson Jr., who joined me on The Ready Writer. Let's get this show started. First up is Leatra Hernandez, who joined me back in July of 2020 on Writer to Writer interviews. Leatra?
Mine he will never be. Though he touched my heart with the way he looked at me, soothing, elegant, but mine he will never be. I fell for him with his touch, his whispers surrounding me, adorned by his grace, taken in, but knowing mine he will never be. Yearning for the kiss of his lips and his love embracing my hips, adoringly, sweetly, but mine he will never be. I fell for him as his love surrounded me, elegant, but for me, he will never be.
When did you know you wanted to be a professional writer?
I would say after I moved to Texas, but I've always written. I started writing poems when I was in junior high, and I always knew, even then, that I wanted to write a book. I just didn't know what else would come after that. So once I moved here to Texas, I knew that I was probably well on my way to doing something professionally with it, especially after I got into working in broadcasting. Broadcasting just helped me know more what steps I wanted to take as far as my writing went.
Infatuation. All I see is him. From the first time we kissed, I saw his love of me. He grasped me in an unfamiliar way, infatuatingly. He was all I saw when his lips tasted me. Adoringly needed, his touch fell over me. Seeing all of his beauty, I saw love for the first time. Infatuated, he touched me. It was mine. My eyes only saw his once we had each other. An infatuation, more than an admirer, beyond a lover. All I see is him and his love of me. Beauty in his touch, infatuatingly.
If poetry is your love, then check out Leatra Hernandez's book, Selfishly. This book is filled with poems that will capture your heart and embrace your desires. The book is available on Amazon, Google Play, and Smashwords. Get it today.
Thank you, Leatra, for sharing. Our next poet is Linwood Jackson Jr. He joined me back in November of 2020 on The Ready Writer. Linwood, take it away.
Linwood Jackson Jr. here, and grateful and thankful to be here, and grateful and thankful to also be sharing two of my poems with you, which are from my book of poetry entitled Growth. The first of which is entitled Exist. Exist. Can you see me? Do you care to know me? How have I wronged you? Why can't you acknowledge me? I take no pride in the sight of myself. I understand I am imperfect, and that in my imperfection I am fairly well. But why do I and not you have this mentality? What if you could observe you? What if you could take knowledge of you? What if you saw disfigurement? Would you heal? would you suffer? How is it that you, being enlightenment, are yet ignorant? How, being sober, are you yet heavily inebriated? I can see that you love, and that you are love, yet you cannot, and I cannot understand why. The beauty of your growth is wise, showing the disease of humanity, while revealing the ever-possible, transcendent nature. You are so magnificent. But because you cannot see it, you are without correction, having no regard, no perception. Yet I am not altogether removed from vision. You have made me your business, and our relationship your sanctuary. You run into my arms, resting on my chest, your energy pouring into my portal, deciding the landscape of my affection. You are safe in my arms. You are known. You are loved. But I am still unknown, even as we touch. My love, I need you to see me. Because my nature is unsympathetic, I need your consolation. I need your lips. I need you to see me. My love, if I am not whole, do not take advantage. My nature, being unsympathetic, is yet not irredeemable. I am here to stay. I am here to learn. I am here to fight for love and to know how we define us. Hear my prayers and let your heart exist, because I need you to see me so that I can know what is real. There is a triumph in love, even an unspoken fellowship. You are my prayer. You are the reality of a female. And to possess a memory of time with you, it is to possess wealth and to garner every bit of earth's fame. I am content with you in my arms, as the center of my affection and as the soil for my seed. Let yourself see me and come to me, so that we may know eternity and the pressure of you.
What is the earliest memory you have of writing and discovering writing was something you enjoyed doing?
As a child, 7 years old, starting to write poetry. Basically, the themes of my poetry were framed around how I just saw life, like even at that young age, seeing two different worlds at home and at school. Just something in me just wasn't clicking. I wasn't meshing with the sort of zombie I was being trained to be. So I began to write poetry to who I only knew as God, the I in the above the sky. You know, taught as a child of not so much as religion, this, that, and the other, but you have a mind watching you. So my poetry was to that I, to that mind, questioning if that I mind saw me, if that mind perceived me, if that mind heard me. And from then I realized that writing was actually a form of expression, an expression not necessarily for anything but personal comfort. And that really is what got me started. I always knew I loved writing. I used to draw as a kid, but poetry was my first instance of writing and writing meaningfully to make sense of my reality. So after that, it became a quiet thing for myself to just write to myself. But after a while, it was just like, I need to make this my life. The second poem is entitled Return. You are my strength. Know your benefit and your worth to my existence. Life can distract and emotions can ferment thought, but I can never forget you. I have done wrong to our fellowship. I have damaged our communion. I have ignored intercourse, but of this and because of that, and because of them and because of those, but I have not forgotten us, nor will I ever. I am never unfaithful or unbelieving, but I am asleep and am tragically ignorant. I am a terror to myself. And having no other to cry with, I, at my lowest, turn to you, and you accept me. How long will you ignore my self-righteousness? How long will you continue to console me? If you should refrain, I would die. If you never opened up your arms, I would retire in earth. But you remain. And through all of my foolishness, as a wife, a friend, a counselor, and mother. Why is this so hard to say? Why is love never enough? I can say that I have grown through conflict and am more intelligent because of hardship, yet my eyes are still closed to your brilliance and my heart to your wisdom. All things fail and all things come with regret, but my wife, who is the spouse of my life, is my reprieve. My wife, I am taken by who you are. We were brought together in youth and were married in innocence by your father, who knew that I needed you and that you were created for me. Demand my love, agitate me for affection, because I don't know who I am, and am at a loss at the sight of my form, needing a reminder of who I ought to be. Thank you. I am Linwood Jackson Jr., and that was from my book of poetry entitled Growth.
Thank you, Linwood. I would like to thank our guest Leatra Hernandez and Linwood Jackson Jr. for joining me on CSB Television's National Poetry Month special programming. And of course, you, the viewers, the audience, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Have a great week.